Okay, so in this video we continue again the derivations to get the final solution. So we end up with the linear inhomogeneous equation of first order. So we can simply define new variable. This new variable is denoted with this theta symbol, which will be equal to t at z minus tw, or simply equal to t minus tw, where this particular tw is, again, this one is a constant. Okay, because the wall temperature does not change at all. Then we can simply change these equations in there with these new variables. So we will have this d phi over dz equal to d t minus t w divided by dz dt over dz, right? With this, then we can move on into the next step. D theta over dz plus lambda theta is equal 0. Then we can move that this one will be using a method of the separation of variables, okay, where we lump the same variables together on the same side. Okay, then with this we can integrate integrations of this d phi over this d theta over theta will be equal to minus lambda integral of dz. Okay, note that we don't have any upper limit and lower limit of the integrations in here. So when we integrate this then we will have a ln theta minus lambda z plus c. So this one is a constant of integration. Okay, and then just to make it easy to operate in here, then we can c in here we can change it into ln k, because a ln of a constant will be equal to a constant. Okay, then ln theta minus ln k will be equal to minus lambda multiplied by z. Then remember your logarithmic operations. If you have ln a minus ln b, then this will be equal to ln a over b. Okay, so likewise in the same method, that will be ln theta over k will be equal to minus lambda multiplied by z. Okay, then we can go with the next operation. So this one will be equal to exponential minus lambda z. Okay, then after we have this final solutions in here, we still have something that is not figured out. This is a k. So in transport phenomena, it is always important to connect the physical conditions in your problem with your mathematical expression. So this is something that we call the boundary conditions, that you will learn in the next week as we go into the momentum transport problem and examples. Okay, in these boundary conditions, basically at z equals 0, the temperature at z equals 0 will be equal to T naught. So this goes back again into your figure in here. It's always important in transport phenomena that we understand the physical system, so that's why we always draw the figure and we connect it back again. So at this particular positions in here, at z equals 0, the temperature of the fluid at this particular coordinates, all of it, is equal to T naught. Okay, so that's that will be reflected in our mathematical expression. Okay, so as a result of this, then the theta at z equals 0 will be equal to T naught minus Tw. Okay, in that case, that means that if we insert it into here, into these equations in here, T naught minus TW divided by K will be equal to E minus lambda multiplied by 0. And this one will be equal to exponential of 0, which is equal to 1. So we have our K equal to T naught minus TW. So the final solutions is basically equal to this one. Let me use a black pen. So T minus TW divided by, so this is supposed to be K, right? You have to have a K in here. Then your K, you get it after you substitute your boundary condition. Your K is equal to T naught minus TW. Then this equal to exponential minus 2 H divided by V naught R rho CP Z. Okay. So let me give a clear mark in here that our solution is basically represented by this equation in here. So in essence, this equation can be defined in two dimensionless variables. Okay, so the first one will be the one on the left hand side, that will be T minus TW divided by T naught minus TW. I define it equal to this. And then the next one will be 2H divided by V naught R rho CP. This will be equal to these variables in here. And then we call them as, this one is basically a dimensionless temperature. This one in here is dimensionless length scale. Okay, so when you divide the temperature by the temperature, then it becomes, it doesn't have a unit, it's become dimensionless, right? And then I have shown you on top in here that that one is basically and this one is dimensionless length scale is because this one is Z. Okay, all these things in here have a unit of 1/m, but because you multiply by the Z, which has a unit of m, that means it becomes a dimensionless. Okay, so I need to rectify these things in here. So instead this dimensionless variable, I should put it in terms of the 2hz. Okay, so this 2hz is this one, and it becomes dimensionless. So it's always a good practice to always cross check everything. So the equations now, or I think I better put it in the black pen color to make it better. Okay, so this becomes this. Okay, so as you can see in here, then for the first model we just have a simple equations. Then this will be basically the conclusions of our second video on the another different modeling level examples. Thank you for listening.